state champs here on Tuesday. Does it sound as good as it did there?
Absolutely, it does. It's a warm feeling. You know, I think as an educator, anytime you can provide an experience for high school kids that they will essentially remember forever, I think is a beautiful thing. And I think that's what we've done, and that's what this group has done. They lived through an experience that they'll remember forever. They're going to remember their teammates. They've created lifelong bonds with each other through the process of all of this. You know, guys that they'll be friends with forever. They, you know, put in a ton of work together, and so that always makes it more meaningful. But they accomplished something that nobody can ever take away from them. You can't go out and buy it. It was truly earned, and it's something that they'll remember forever.
You guys get to put a third trophy in here. You know, just the third time you guys have done that in Snider's storied history. Just what's that mean for you guys?
Very overwhelming sense of pride for all the guys that have played here in the past. This program means a lot to everybody that's played here because of the relationships that you make through your time here. For me as a player, Coach Hawley, Coach Isaacs, Coach Bush, you know, those guys were the guys that I, you know, looked up to about how to grow up, and, you know, along with my parents, but they were like parents away from home, and I just learned a lot from them and applied it to my life when I left Snider High School. And coming back, that's what we want to be able to do. And, you know, for all the people that have played here, you know, there's been such a commonality among the years, you know, with the staff, that guys that played in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s know that the guys playing right now are experiencing the same things. They're valuing and working through the same things, and so that common bond, I think, is special. So just a great sense of pride that, you know, all the guys that wore the black and gold before can be very proud of that score and that state championship, just like the guys that playing on the team this year.
What was that mix of emotions like when you were addressing the crowd here, talking about just how much these kids meant to you? As a coach, you spend a lot of time with these guys and you invest a lot of time with them, and we genuinely, it's like your sons. You know, you get to love them and know them, and you work through all kinds of things with them. It's not just about coaching them in football, but, you know, these guys experience life growing up in high school, and all the things that come with growing up as a teenager, and you know, we as coaches work through that stuff with them while we coach football. And so we spend a ton of time together. We really come to know each other very well, and as coaches, you know, we choose to love these guys, and it's meaningful for us to see them develop, to see them fight through adverse things and come out on top as a situation with this year's team. And it's just special, it's meaningful, something that, you know, I'll always remember. Was there a personality trait of this year's group that makes them unique among other teams that you've had over the years?
They just didn't flinch about anything. You know, from the very first game, we had all kinds of question marks about what this team was going to be, who were going to be the key players. And, you know, we go into a really tough situation, a 2-hour trip to Indianapolis against one of the premier programs in the state. And, I mean, we didn't flinch. They were really talented. We got down early, and our guys never changed. I mean, they didn't panic, they didn't worry, they didn't point fingers. They just kept playing football and played very, very well. And the longer the game went, the better they played, you know, and won a hard-fought victory. We've never started the season with 3 road games, and 2 of them being out of town. And so we went on the road 2 more weeks, continued to play well. And whatever we encountered this season, they just handled with just a calm sense, a not panic, and just go about their business and work. And that comes from the leadership of the group, you know, the seniors, and their investment with the young guys. And the young guys bought into the senior way of doing things, and, you know, we were all on one page, and they just didn't flinch.
Talk about the effort from Uriah Buchanan there on Friday night. 200 yards, comes up just shy of 2,000 for the season, almost 30 touchdowns.
We redid those. We looked at those stats, you know, because the game stats are all live.
Yeah.
And so when you go back and look at him, he ended up with 2006, I think.
Okay, perfect. Well,
2006, yeah.
still 200 yards there
Yeah.
in a state championship game. Talk about Uriah's performance and, and considering the limited, offensive possessions you guys did have.
He was phenomenal. Great players play their best in the biggest games. And if I were to kind of put a pin on this game, our best players played their best in the biggest game of the year. Uriah being one of them, Kieran being another one. Offensive lineman, Lucas Rohrbacher. Our best players played their best games in the biggest games. And, our offense leaned on Uriah all year long. And, it's just like he's going to pop one and, kept hitting, and boom. Those 2 runs were phenomenal. And just give him a little seam, and then, that's all the rest is him. But not a surprise. It's great to see good things happen to good people, and that's certainly the case with him.
I know the number 1 jersey means a lot, to this program, and to see him wear it and to see him exemplify, just what that jersey means for this program. Just how special was it to see the performance he had all season long, just so steady for you guys, and to cap it off the way he did.
Well, I think that speaks to his character. Men of character perform their best in the most intense, pressure-filled times. We like to say that these games and this high school football experience reveals your character. It doesn't really build it, it reveals who you are. And so that's certainly the case with him. He's been a great representation of the number 1 jersey for all it stands for. But that's not a surprise. He certainly earned it and just did a great job all season.
I know he was a guy that you guys were kind of looking to lean on, as the season began. Did you expect this kind of a year from him, and just the performances that he was able to put up?
Well, even last year we just saw glimpses of. We knew he was going to be good, but offensively, there were several guys we knew what we were going to get from Uriah. His best effort and the quality of which he played, we knew we were going to get that. But the biggest question marks were at other positions where new guys were filling in. We graduated a 3-year quarterback. And Kieran had to step in with limited quarterback experience. He played receiver last year. The season was going to be contingent on how well he played. And, the guy made plays in every game and in key moments. 3rd and 6, he was going to find a way to get the first down. He did better throwing the ball than anybody could have imagined. Almost 70% completion percentage the entire season right up till the end. He just had a knack for making plays. And then on the offensive line, guys that filled in that were new from last year, Sam Haxton, Jack Langus, Ethan Leal, those guys, the season was going to be contingent on whether or not they would develop into great players, and they did. Boston Conley and Austin Ganaway on the out there at receiver, and we had John Stegmeyer, a brand new guy, never played football before, and ended up being a great contributor on the offense. So, we knew what we were going to get from Uriah. It was the other guys that I think the season kind of hinged on, that those guys stepped up, did a great job, and that's a huge reason for the offense's success.
Awesome. The only question I've got for you before we're done here, I believe, is, just when you as coaches, as the players, and the people that are involved in the team, when they reflect back on this season, what do you hope that they've learned and they think when they're reflecting this season?
Well, the first thing that they're going to remember are the relationships that they've had, the relationships with their position coaches. They spend a ton of time with those guys, and those position coaches, our philosophy is to invest in the lives of these young guys so that, we can help better their life. But then their relationship with each other. They spend a ton of time together. For a team to excel, they got to like being around each other, and that comes from, good kids that come from good families that learn to sacrifice some of their own wants and desires for what's best for the team, and this group certainly embodied that. So my hope is that the first thing that they cherish and remember are the relationships that were formed during this time. And then, our program's predicated on hard work. We're going to work hard, and to me there's no more key to success in life than just your willingness to put your nose to the ground and do the work. And everybody wants a secret to success, and what's the key? It really lies in your willingness to do the work that nobody else wants to do. And this group embodied that. They loved the work of it. And, you know, I think those two things, if they carry those things with them, whether we win a state championship or not, you know, that's how we're going to measure success.